So have you ever tried to get smarter, and the advice you got was something like, oh, just brush your teeth with your other hand? Yeah, me too. Today we're diving into a much more powerful method. It's called the NeuroMax90 program, and it's a 90-day plan designed to systematically train your intelligence where it actually counts.
But first, let's talk about why most of that common brain training advice you hear all the time just kind of falls flat.
I mean, who doesn't, right? You want to get smarter. We've all been there, we've all looked it up, and we've all probably heard the same old advice. You know the drill. Change up your commute, use your left hand if you're a righty, travel to some new place. The idea behind all of this is to shake things up, right? To give your brain some new experiences. But does any of it really work?
Well, the short answer is not really. Look, this kind of stuff does stimulate your brain a little bit, but it's pretty insignificant. It's kind of like stretching your fingers to train for a marathon. I mean, sure, the effort's real, but it's totally misplaced. And to understand why, we've got to talk about energy.
So check this out. That number, 25%, that's the secret cost of real thinking. Your brain is tiny. It's just a fraction of your body weight, but it can literally devour a quarter of your body's total energy when you're wrestling with a complex problem. It's the reason deep thought is genuinely exhausting, and it's a huge clue that real brain growth requires a serious energy investment.
So to really get why that common advice fails, we need to understand that your brain isn't just one single muscle. It's more like a specialist team with 3 key players, or zones.
Think about it for a second. Animals often have way better motor and sensory skills than we do. An eagle's vision, a cheetah's speed, they blow us out of the water. But the thing that truly separates us, the thing that gives us the edge, is the incredible development of our associative zones. This is our evolutionary superpower.
So what are these zones? Well, think of them as your brain's command center. This is where all the data comes in, gets cross-referenced with your memories, and where you strategize your next move. It's the home of deep thought, analysis, and planning.
Here's a really powerful way to think about it. In the grand scheme of things, our associative zones are like showing up with an atomic weapon in a world of spears and bows. They are our species' ultimate advantage. They're the reason we can create things that nature has never seen before.
So here's the bottom line. True intellectual development isn't about just experiencing new sensations or doing some weird new movement. It's about systematically exercising these powerful associative zones. And that is the entire focus of the NeuroMax90 plan.
Okay, so we know what we need to train, but how do we actually do it? Let's get into the step-by-step 90-day NeuroMax plan.
The whole program is broken down into 3 distinct 30-day phases, and each one is designed to build on the last, so you're progressively challenging those all-important associative zones.
The first phase is called Neuro-graphy. And no, this isn't just about pretty handwriting or calligraphy. It's a full-brain workout that uses the act of writing by hand to forge this intense connection between what you think, what you see, and what you physically do.
So here's how it works. It's simple, but it's really powerful. You pick a piece of information you want to learn. You read it, you cover it up, and then you try to write it out from memory, by hand. Then you check your work against the original, fix any mistakes, and you do it again. This little loop forces your brain into active recall, which is leagues better than just passively reading something over and over.
Now the real key here is consistency. You just start with 5 minutes. That's it. Something totally manageable so you can build the habit. As it gets easier, and as you start to feel the benefits, you gradually ramp it up to a solid 30 to 60 minutes a day. All right, once you've got that down, we move on to phase 2, thesis fixation. This exercise shifts gears from pure memorization to comprehension and prioritization. You could say that if Neuro-graphy teaches you to remember, thesis fixation teaches you to understand. So here's the drill for this one. Read an article or watch a video, but taking notes is totally off limits. You just consume it. Then hours later, maybe in the evening, you sit down with a blank piece of paper and you force your brain to reconstruct the main arguments from memory. This is an incredible workout for learning how to find the signal in the noise. And here's where the plan really starts to compound. You don't stop doing phase 1. You actually stack phase 2 right on top of it. You keep up your daily neurography, and now you're adding these new sessions in to create an even more layered, more intense workout for your brain. And that brings us to the final and most advanced phase, synthesis. This is where you graduate from just consuming and understanding information to actively creating it.
This is the ultimate workout for your associative zones.
So this phase gives you two main ways to practice. The first is to write at least one full page, from scratch, on a topic that you find fascinating. The second is to plan, creating a super detailed narrative of your next day, describing each action not as a boring to-do list but as a story. Both of these force your brain to create something new out of what it already knows.
So, after following this really structured plan for 3 months, what's the big takeaway? What's the point of all this?
The entire philosophy really boils down to this one simple idea. Consistency beats magnitude. This isn't about one heroic all-night cram session. It's about the small, daily deposits of effort that compound over time into incredible intellectual growth.
And you know what keeps you going? It's the progress itself. By starting with just a manageable 5 minutes, you basically guarantee yourself a small win every day, and that win gives you the motivation for the next day and the next. It's this amazing virtuous cycle where your own improvement becomes the fuel that drives you through all 90 days.
Committing to a process like this means you will be a different person intellectually in just 3 months. So the final question isn't just for this explainer, it's really for you. Who will you become if you start training your greatest asset every single day?